Hey there and welcome. We're talking about that sound, or really, the lack of sound, that every single homeowner absolutely dreads. It's that deafening silence when your air conditioner just gives up the ghost, usually on the hottest day of the year. So today, we're going to perform an autopsy on that breakdown. We'll dissect what goes wrong, why it happens, and, the important part, what you can actually do about it. Let's jump in. Man, that quote just hits you, right? It perfectly captures that feeling of sheer panic. The second that cool air stops and you feel that heavy, humid heat start to creep back into the house, it's like you can literally hear a clock ticking. And this isn't just about being a little uncomfortable. In some climates, it is a genuine safety issue. So for this, we're taking our cues from Hialeah, Florida, a place where AC units are basically in a fight for their lives every single day. But here's what's so cool about that. This extreme environment is the perfect case study. The lessons we learn from a system under that much stress, they apply to any air conditioner, no matter where you live. Okay, so let's start by looking at the battlefield. What is it exactly that makes an environment like South Florida such a brutal, unforgiving place for an HVAC system? It's not just one thing. It's a constant war on multiple fronts. I want you to think of your AC unit like a soldier that's just constantly under siege. First, it's fighting off 95-degree heat and humidity that's over 80%. That forces it to run almost nonstop. Then, you've got this corrosive salt air blowing in from the coast, which is literally eating away at its metal parts. On top of that, you've got power surges from those daily thunderstorms that can just fry the electronics. And that's just the outside. Inside, it might be dealing with leaky old ducts or trying to cool a house with a flat roof that's basically a giant heat magnet. It is a completely relentless assault. So the good news is your AC almost never just dies suddenly. It sends out warning signs first. It kind of whispers for help before it starts screaming. The trick is knowing how to listen and what to look for before some little quirk turns into a total system meltdown. Let's dig into some of those red flags. Okay, check this out. We've got two super common symptoms here, but they point to two totally different culprits. So if your unit's running, you can hear it kicking on, but the air coming out just isn't cool, you're probably looking at a refrigerant leak. The system's trying, but its lifeblood is slowly draining out. Now, on the other hand, if you go outside and the unit is just humming like it wants to start but just can't, that is the classic sign of a dead capacitor. That's the little part that gives the motor that initial kick to get going. And then there's the sneaky one. Your AC isn't just a cooler, it's also a dehumidifier, and it's pulling gallons and gallons of water out of the air. All that water has to go somewhere, right? It goes through a little condensate drain line. But when that line gets clogged up with algae and junk, the water has nowhere to go but back inside. This is a perfect example of how a tiny, easy-to-miss problem can spiral into a full-blown catastrophe, leading to water damage, ruined ceilings, and even nasty mold. So how can you tell if your system is actually doing its job properly? Well, here's your benchmark. A healthy, happy air conditioner should be able to make the air coming out of your vents about 20 to 25 degrees cooler than the air outside. It's a simple test you can do yourself. If it's 95 degrees out and your vents are only blowing out, say, 80-degree air, Houston, we have a problem. All right, so the system is failing. And now, you're facing the single biggest, most expensive question a homeowner has to answer. It's a decision that can easily cost you thousands of dollars, and you usually have to make it when you're stressed out and sweating. And this is it, isn't it? The moment of truth. Do you pour hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars into this aging machine and just cross your fingers that you get another year out of it? Or do you just bite the bullet and make the huge investment in a brand new system? It is a tough, tough call. But luckily, there are some tools to help you think about it logically. And this is where it gets really useful. You can use this simple, practical formula called the $5,000 rule. It's not foolproof, but it's a great guideline designed to take some of the emotion and panic out of the decision. All you have to do is multiply your system's age, in years, by the estimated cost of the repair. Let's just walk through an example so you see how easy it is. Let's say your system is 12 years old, so it's already getting up there. A tech comes out and says the repair is going to cost $500. So you multiply 12 years by $500 and you get $6,000. Since that number is over the $5,000 line, the rule suggests that financially, this repair is probably a bad investment. It's time to start shopping for a new unit. Okay, so you've made a decision. You're going to call in a professional to get it fixed. What should you expect? Let's demystify the whole repair process a little bit so you know what a good, honest service call really looks like. It should really be a simple 3-step dance.
First, a thorough diagnosis to find the real problem, not just the symptom. Second, after they explain the issue and you approve the cost, they actually do the repair work. And third, and this part is absolutely crucial, they need to test and verify that everything is working perfectly again before they pack up their tools. You should feel that cold air blowing before they leave.
But, of course, the best way to deal with a breakdown is to make sure it never happens in the first place. Reacting to an emergency is always stressful, it's always expensive. Being proactive, that's smart, and it saves you a ton of money in the long run. So let's talk about how to do that. So what does being proactive actually look like? Well, this checklist pretty much covers the basics. Things like cleaning the coils, checking the refrigerant, testing the electrical parts, and clearing out that super important drain line. These are the keys to a long, healthy life for your AC. This isn't just busy work. It's essential preventative medicine from one of the most important appliances in your home. And the payoff for doing this stuff is huge. You're not just avoiding the massive cost of a system failure. You're actively lowering your monthly electric bills because a clean system runs way more efficiently. You're extending the life of your equipment, which pushes that big replacement cost further down the road. It is truly one of the best investments you can make in your home. So we'll end with this thought. That metal box sitting outside your house is in a constant, brutal fight with the elements, all to keep you comfortable and safe inside. It works incredibly hard for you. The only real question left is, are you doing enough to return the favor?